competition law can be quite impenetrable to the non-expert. I'm told that clients get frustrated if they're told, it all depends. It all depends on who your competitors are, on your market share, and if a complaint's made to a competition authority. My aim is to disentangle the black and white letter rules. I try to provide clear and straightforward answers, but in those grey areas where there is more of a judgment call to be made, I try to help parties determine where the risk really lies and what to do next. I do that through my understanding of the law, business, economics, and real life experience. My expertise lies in competition law, the rules of the European Union and the United Kingdom. Competition law is all about the rules that businesses need to follow in dealings with competitors, agreements, and commercial practices. It also touches on the rules that apply when parties want to merge with other parties, and EU legislation, such as the rules on state aid law, which governs when member states can give a financial or other economic advantage to private parties. It also touches on competitive tendering and the EU public procurement rules. Internationally, I also advise on the competition laws in other countries, many of which have adopted similar rules to those in the EU, and where I'm asked to look for comparisons and insights on how the rules should be applied based on experience elsewhere. I'm authorised to accept public access instructions. That means that clients, whether they are private individuals or business people, can approach me direct. They don't need to be a lawyer themselves. They don't need to approach me via a solicitor. They can talk to me or my clerks directly. My role as a public access authorised barrister is very much the same as when I'm instructed by a solicitor. But it does mean that parties can come to me direct if they want to. As a barrister, I'm involved in both advising on the law and practice, as well as in litigation. So I might be asked to look at an agreement and to consider whether that would be enforceable. It may contain restrictive provisions. I might be asked about a merger and the likelihood of it being cleared. I might consider potential challenges to agreements and commercial practices and the relationship with competition law. Some questions come to me as contractual disputes, but where the parties are arguing that contractual provisions are not enforceable because they breach the competition rules. So I can be consulted in an almost cradle-to-grave relationship with a client when they're working out their competitive strategy and considering what their best arguments are. An example of a case where I've been instructed on a public access basis involved a startup company. The company was trying to expand its operations and found out that the local authority was giving out grants for just the opportunities that that company was considering. But as part of applying for the assistance, they had to give confirmation that they didn't think the state aid rules were breached. They didn't know much about those rules, and I was asked to advise them on whether the particular proposal, whether their company would benefit from it, and any state aid considerations. This involved looking at the special rules that applied to small and medium-sized enterprises, and I was able to work out that they were in fact eligible and advise them on what to do in terms of their communications with the local authority. And the result was that they were able to secure the funding and had reached a level of assurance that there was no breach of the state aid rules. I try to combine competition law advice and understanding with practical insights. I realise that it's not always a case of risk avoidance, but about understanding what the risks are and accepting a tolerable level of risk. Call it risk management. But I will be very clear in advising on the prospects of success, and I'll try to think about alternative strategies. I hope you'll find me approachable and accessible, and that I can talk a language that both experts and business people will understand. Although I'm based in London, I do travel throughout the United Kingdom and internationally to visit clients where they are. I'm available on my phone, I'm available by email, and I'm available in my chambers. My background as a barrister is fairly atypical. I haven't always been a barrister. I've been a partner in a law firm. I've also had experience as a consultant in an economics practice. And I try to bring those complementary insights to the cases that I deal with. I'm accessible pretty much 24/7. Or as one client did say to me, if I can't call my lawyer at 3 a.m. in the morning when I do have a crisis, who can I call?